Hello, my awesome crafty friends. Welcome to the Lori Whitlock YouTube channel today. I am incredibly excited to share this new project with y'all. I have designed this awesome birthday card giving organization box. It's got drawers, it's got pockets, it's going to keep you organized. It's even got a mini album where you can organize your birthday lists by month, and you can come to one place every time you need to give a birthday card and keep organized. I'm so excited to show it to you, and I'm really excited to show you how to make it. It's been a really fun project to create, and I think you're all going to just love it. So first of all, I'm going to take the lid off and show you what it looks like inside. The top is just a cute little lid with some birthday balloons on top. I have glued those two balloons on, and I've pop dotted that middle one to give it just a little bit of dimension. Inside, you're going to see there's 3 sections. The first section includes these adorable cards, which are included in the file. I've given you 3 super awesome, super easy insert cards to make. They're 5x7. They're beautiful. They're very simple to make. You can have those ready to go at any time for anybody's birthday. In this second section, we've got an assortment of envelopes in different colors. I've gone to Hobby Lobby and just picked up assorted 5x7 envelopes. Super easy to just grab those and stick them in that center section. No fuss, no worry, and you don't have to spend a lot of time cutting those. This is one of the highlights of the project. It's a birthday organizer. You can print and cut each of these pages, assemble your own little album, and then list your birthdays by date in each month so that you don't miss anybody's birthday. If it's March and you know March is coming up, you can check your book, see who you need to send cards to, grab a card, grab an envelope, and we've even got some cute little drawers here that we can grab our stamps right out of the drawer there. You can have some washi tape right here handy. You can have some tags handy to attach to a card or to a package. I've even got some little paper clips in here. Anyways, those I'll show you those again here in just a minute. I'm getting so excited. I'm jumping ahead. So at the back of this album, there's even a pocket page where you can store some bills if you like to send money in your birthday cards. So you'd have everything right here organized in your little box. You've got a place to put pins. You can even throw in a roll of baker's twine if you need that to attach your tags to a package or to the envelope. I think it's really cute to take an envelope and wrap it in your baker's twine and tie a tag on it. If you want to label it that way, if you're going to hand deliver it, that's a fun way to give a card. So what do you guys think? This is going to be a fun project to make. I have reinforced the whole project. I've cut it out of 80-pound craft colored cardstock, and then I've embellished it with my Happy Birthday Girl paper collection that I designed for Echo Park Paper Company. I love the color palette for this collection. It's just really pretty, soft birthday colors. You could do it out of any paper you want. You do not have to mimic what I did, but I really think that this is a pretty collection for this project. And all of the extra layers of paper really does help reinforce this project and make it nice and sturdy. It will last you a long time. Like I mentioned, we do have these 3 cute drawers on the front, and I have reinforced those so that they're double thickness. They're going to hold up for you for quite a long time. The only side that's not double thickness is the back, which I didn't think you would use too often. We've got these casings in here that are all smooth. You don't see any cut line. I'm sorry. You don't see any glue tabs. Everything smoothly flows in and out. There shouldn't be anything binding your drawers from moving. The drawers are sized just right, like I said, to hold a roll of stamps, so you have those ready to go. You could put in a variety of things, whatever you would find handy. Maybe washi tape, maybe some little clips, something like that. You could even put your baker's twine in a drawer if yours is in smaller packages or rolled up smaller. I'm including some birthday tags. These are print and cut tags. They're very simple. They're meant to be simple so that you can just grab those and put them on a package or on your card. I am including these insert cards, and I have a whole video on how to assemble my insert cards, but I'll show you really quick since this is part of the project. It's literally just as easy as a solid piece of cardstock and a white piece of cardstock. This is going to cut out on your cutting machine all these beautiful intricate cuts. You will need to do a little print and cut happy birthday sentiment that's included in the file and a mat for that to just kind of finish that off. But you just need a rectangle, and this is in the file as well, cut just to the right size. I've cut this out of double-sided paper that I designed for Echo Park and that Birthday Girl collection. So you can see how just by switching up the colors you get a different look. You could even use a simple pattern. That would be darling in these as well, but all you do is just cut these two pieces and tuck those corners in, making these literally some of the most delicate and intricate birthday cards, but also the most simple. I can't imagine that anybody wouldn't just love this to get this for their birthday. And if you have envelopes ready to go, you can mix and match your colors. You know, just grab an envelope and write a sentiment in your card. I've purposely made these just a simple card with a white inside, so it's super easy for you just to write on that. Pop that in an envelope, grab out your stamps, and address your envelope and pop that in the mail. So fun, so simple. So let's get busy making this project. It's really a lot easier to put together than it looks. They're all separate little components. First, we're going to assemble the stack of drawers here on the right-hand side. That's probably the most complicated part of the whole project. After we do that part, we're going to assemble the little section here where pins can fit over here, and then we'll put together the 3 vertical sections to separate your cards, your envelopes, and your planner. And then we will finish off the whole project with covering panels and reinforce it with extra cardstock. It's really quite simple to put together. After that, we will put together the lid to finish it all off. If you don't want to make a lid for yours, you do not need to. That's completely optional. I kind of like it just for closing up the project, setting it on the shelf, and making it look adorable. Completely up to you. You guys can customize this project the way you want it. But let's get started putting it together. And I hope you enjoy making one of these just as much as I enjoyed making it for you and putting mine together. Let's move on to assembly. Let's get started by putting together our bank of drawers. So the drawer section is comprised of 3 boxes, and each box is comprised of an insert and a casing. So we're going to put those together, and then we're going to stack those on top of each other and glue them together. So I'm going to move this off to the side for a minute, and I'll show you how to put together one of those casings and drawers. Oh, and then these are our covering panels for that section as well. So let's start with the drawer casing. So it looks like this in the file. You're just going to go ahead and fold all those tabs and score lines in one direction towards the middle to start forming a box. And you're going to see that there's 4 long sides here. Those are going to fold in towards the inside of our box. I'm going to go ahead and grab my bone folder and put a good crease on those. And then on each of those sections we just folded, you want to get a good square crease on those so that it looks really neat when we're done. Okay, and then on the bottom section here, there are 4 glue tabs, and I've done it this way so all the glue tabs can be hidden inside the box. You won't see any seams that are raw or open, which is really nice, but it does make it a little bit harder to assemble because we have to put each glue tab on a side. Oops, I've got to fold this one here really quick. We've got to glue each of these tabs to a side and then also glue this glue tab in. So you have to decide what's easier for you. Do you want to glue those glue tabs around and then finish up with this section, or do you want to go ahead and glue this section? I'm going to start by just folding it across and gluing this section, but if you find it easier to do it a different way, feel free. And then these tabs are going to just fold in to create a nice smooth place for our drawer to slide without any raw edges. Makes it really function nicely. So we'll just go ahead and fold that over, make sure that everything lays flat so it's nice and square when we're done. Just hold that glue until it dries. And then once that's dried, you're going to take these 3 glue tabs and they're going to tuck inside and glue to those 3 sides. So I'm going to go ahead and put some adhesive on those. I think I'm going to use my other adhesive right now with this paper. I'm going to use the Scotch Quick Dry Tacky Glue. Sorry. Okay, so this gets a little tricky when you try and fold those tabs in and try not to get glue everywhere, but it's not too bad. Oops. Again, the reason I wanted to do it this way is so there's no raw edges for our drawer to catch on when we're done. So fold those in, try not to get glue everywhere, wipe your hands if you need to. Use the table to get everything squared up and put some pressure on those glue tabs inside. Okay, once you get those glue tabs in place, you can put a little bit of glue on these 4 inside pieces and then we're going to fold them in. So just like this. And if you see that those glue tabs need a little help in there, you can put a little extra glue down in there too, as needed. Don't worry, because all this is going to get hidden by these 4 sides as we tuck them in. And this makes our drawer casing, which looks really neat, and it makes our drawer slide so well. So I'm just using my bone puller to make sure each of those sides get a nice seal on them. And to glue them down nice and flat so that we don't have our drawer binding in any way. So it looks like that. And you can see why I did those glue tabs the way I did, because then there's no glue tab showing at all on the inside of this project. So that is one drawer casing. You're going to go ahead and make 3 of these. And I'm going to set that aside while we make our drawer. We'll start that by folding all of the score lines towards the center. And I'm going to use my bone folder to give those a good press. And do those sides in one long press, which is really nice. Then we need to press between each section here. And on these 2 long side pieces, let me show you really quick. Make sure you don't ignore those score lines as well. Those fold over just like that. Okay, now we're ready to put this baby together. So, what I've done, or tried to do here, is make this where you have a nice clean inside and a nice clean outside. So let me pull that back out of the way. So you can see, I want to hide these 2 glue tabs in between these side layers. They're going to slip in between there. And then we're going to fold these 2 over so it's a nice clean double reinforced sides and front. Okay, so that's kind of how it goes together. I'm going to take that back apart. We'll put this together in slow motion, but I wanted you to see that we can hide those 2 glue tabs if you do it right. So we'll glue those 2 sides up first, and then we'll pull these 2 inside and glue them in. So I'm going to put glue on the outside of these. And then glue those up nice and square on the two sides. Okay, once you have those two sides glued up, let's fold these two tabs back here and we'll just glue these two inside. Okay, and we'll take those two sides and glue those down. Making sure to keep everything nice and square so your drawer turns out perfectly. And then those last two little glue tabs are just going to fold over and kind of seal off that top edge so you don't see any of those layers from the top of the drawer. So I'm going to lay that on the table and just put some pressure with that bone folder right on that glue tab so it gets glued down and sealed really well. Oh, we've got a little extra glue here. That's okay, we'll just wipe that off. Yeah, always be careful of that extra glue. We are going to have a covering panel go on there, so I think it'll be okay. And by the way, I'm making these out of colored paper so you can see the difference in all those pieces. But my original, I cut all out of craft, 80-pound craft cardstock. So it would all be uniform for the base. So that is the basic construction of that drawer. And then the drawer is going to slip right into our casing that we made earlier. So that's what the drawer looks like. All the sides of the casing are double reinforced, and the three sides of this drawer are double reinforced. And on my original, I cut this, like I said, out of all just a craft 80-pound cardstock, so it's nice and heavy, a little heavier than this. I believe this is 65-pound. It will work as well, but I think the 80-pound just is a little bit sturdier and really nice. So once you have 3 of these made, you're going to stack them on top of each other, and just on this one you would put glue on this top and glue the next one on, and then glue the next one on, and you'd have a stack of 3. Pretty simple. So just go ahead and make those drawers and make this little bank right here, and then we'll move on to the next section. We've got the section for our pencils or pins back here, and then we've got these 3 sections here for our cards, envelopes, and our planner. So let's move on right now to our pencil section. So we're working on that back long deep square box. Okay, pretty simple. This is the only piece on the whole project that you do have to cut out of 12 by 12, or in the file I'm going to give you an option to cut it separately. So this would have a glue tab here, and then you'll just have a square for the bottom you could glue on. So if you wanted to cut it out of 8.5 by 11, you could. So let's fold up all those score lines towards the center. This is a pretty straightforward box. It's just a square with 4 sides that we're just gonna fold these score lines and start forming that box. And then we have 1 glue tab there at the end. Like I said, this is 65-pound that I'm working with right now. My box I made out of an 80-pound, so it's just a little sturdier. But I wanted you to easily be able to see all the different sections that I'm creating and all the different pieces. So at this point, I would just lay these glue tabs down, fold this over, and get ready to glue that glue tab to that side. That way you can use the table to press and get a nice square, a nice square edge there. I'm just going to use this extra card to kind of spread that glue on that glue tab, and then fold that over and make sure that seals good. Make sure you don't glue it to anything else under there. I like to fold it in another orientation as well and put a little pressure on that. That way I know it's nice and square and it pulls it into perfect shape. And then on the bottom, we just have these 3 glue tabs. If you use the 8.5 by 11 version, you will have 4 glue tabs and a square to glue on to the bottom. Either way will work fine. I just thought since everything else fits on 8.5 by 11, it might be a nice option. Sometimes it's easier to find craft cardstock in 8.5 by 11 rather than 12 by 12. So just fold that up, and that completes the bottom of that box. If you want to put that down and put something long in there to press on those glue tabs, you could do that as well. And let me just show you on the box where this is going to go. We just assembled our 3 drawers and have a bank of drawers. Now you're just going to put glue all along the back side of that bank of drawers and glue this piece right to the back of those bank of drawers. So this piece right here is this square right here. And they will make sure that they stay nice and square on each side. Use the table to press down and also to the side as you're gluing those together, and you'll have this nice set of drawers and a pencil holder right there. And just as a side note, if you want to make this pencil holder where it's not so deep, so you don't have to go in to get your pencils so far, there is a piece in the file that looks like this, and it's got rounded corners, and you can just fold that all up into a square like that. You can slide that down into your pencil holder, and it'll bring up the bottom so that your pencils don't go so far down, if that makes sense. But once you get it in there, you're not going to get it back out, so make sure you want that before you do it. So that is an optional piece, and feel free to use that as desired. So now that we're done with both the drawers and the pencil holder piece, let's move on to the section on the box where we put together, or where we house our cards and envelopes and our little planner. So the pieces for that look like this. I've given you a piece that looks like a straight across the top and one that has a curve across the top. So let's go ahead and fold these pieces up. Fold on the score lines here. Okay, so that's what this one looks like. For this front section and back section, I used one piece that has the cutout for your fingers. That way it'll be easier to reach down and grab the planner out or the cards out. The middle section, I just left it deep, so that holds envelopes. Let me show you how they fit in there actually. The envelopes fit like that, so they come pretty close to the top, so they're not too hard to reach out of there. The cards aren't too bad either. You can decide if you want that cut out or not, but that's kind of how they fit. So it is kind of nice to have this finger hole here just to be able to get into that section. And same with the planner. I thought it would be nice to just have a little finger hole. But if you want to change yours up and just do all straight ones or do all curved ones and have them curved out through the middle, that's fine too. You get to decide, but I'm giving you both sections. So I believe in the file I told you to cut 2 of these and 4 of these. If you decide to do it with all straight, you would need 6 altogether, or if you want all curved, you'd need 6 altogether. So let's go ahead and fold this one as well. Okay, I am actually folding these on the back side of the paper because I noticed a few imperfections on the front of that paper. But so just make sure that you fold them both the same direction. It doesn't matter, front side, back side, just as long as you do them both the same. If that makes sense, because you want the glue tab to hit in the right places. If you folded one backwards, let me just show you what that would look like. If you folded this one backwards, the glue tabs would be wrong. You would not be able to glue that together, and then you'd have overlapping sides over there. So just make sure if you get them folded and they're wrong, just reverse one of them and you'll be fine. So let's just glue down this side here and attach these 2 pieces together. I had to make these separate pieces because it obviously won't fit on a 12 by 12 or 8.5 by 11. It takes a full 8.5 by 11 for each one of these. So get some on that corner. Just line that line up right down the crease, the cut edge against the crease. And give that a good press. And then once you have that done, you can go ahead and fold it in half and get to this glue tab, and we'll glue this down. Okay, so now we have just this big rectangle we've formed, and we just need to finish up the bottom. So you can, again, hide those glue tabs by tucking them in between the layers if you would like, or you can tuck them all the way inside. It's totally up to you. I kind of like to hide them, so that way when you look down into your project, you won't see any big raw edges down underneath there, which I think is fabulous. Okay, so we'll go ahead and press that down really well. And that's what one of our large sections on our box looks like. So right now you should have a bank of drawers and the section for pencils. And then once you make 3 of these, and you can do them straight or curved, however you want them, you're just going to glue those 3 pieces together, 1, 2, 3, by putting glue on the entire side and just butting them up to each other and gluing them together. And then you'll take that whole section once it's good and dry and glue it to the side of your bank of drawers. And if you wanted to vary yours, you could put it on the opposite side that I did. Or if you wanted to expand your set, you could make a double holder on each side, but you wouldn't be able to fit the lid on then. But that gives you an idea. It's pretty simple. I also did create if you wanted to do, instead of 5 by 7 cards and wanted to do A2 cards, I made a piece that can lift the bottom of these boxes up. It looks like this rectangle one here. I'm just showing you. I showed you the one I made for this square section for the pins. This one is for the cards. So again, once you push that all the way down, you're not going to get it back out. So just be aware of that, but it will raise the bottom of that box up a little, which will make A2 sized cards and envelopes more accessible if that bothers you. But if it doesn't, that's completely optional. Okay, so we have basically our whole box put together to this point. I've shown you how to put together each component, how to put together those drawers, and now in the file you've got some covering panels. This piece is to cover the back of the box. It looks like that. It covers up all those seams so you can't see them. It looks like one piece. It also adds a lot of reinforcement to the project so that it is nice and sturdy. We've got covering panels made out of pattern paper as well. This one is for the bottom, I believe. This one is for the other side. So hopefully you can see all of that. And then here's our covering panel for this side, and here's the covering panel for our front section. So I'm just going to go ahead and put all of these onto our box, kind of finish up our box with all the cute papers that makes this project so much fun. So just make sure you get your glue on the correct side. I also like to make sure I get it close to the edges so that it doesn't peel up. And then you can fill in through the middle as desired. But yeah, right around all those sharp corners. I definitely don't want that peeling up. So once you have the glue the way you want it, go ahead and flip that over, and that should be a perfect match. If for some reason you're using a different weight of paper and things aren't matching up perfectly, double check that before you glue it on and trim as necessary, but it really should. Like I said, I'm using 80-pound cover and it's a beautiful fit. I'm going to flip that over and let it press against the table. See if we can get a good seal on that. And while it's doing that, I'm just going to go ahead, and there is no craft panel for this because we don't need to cover up these seams. That would close our drawers off. So I'm just going to go ahead and add the cute covering panel to this section. I'm using Echo Park double-sided paper. I believe this is a collection I did for them that's called Birthday Girl. So you could use any birthday paper or any paper that you have for that matter. It doesn't have to be birthday paper. I just thought it would be really fun to put birthday paper on my birthday organizer box. Oops, let's center that. Should be about 1/8 of an inch around each of those edges. And I'm going to flip that over and give it some pressure against the table. In fact, I'm going to move that envelope out of our way. I'm just going to put my hand in there and give that some pressure. Same with this section here. You can always use the table to help you glue things in place. Okay, let's go ahead and put our craft panels on the two sides. And this one I'm just going to go ahead and put the glue right on the box. I think it might be a little easier. Just get it right along that edge there. Okay. And that actually is the bottom piece. Sorry about that. Grabbed the wrong one. This really finishes this box off beautifully. You would never know it's not one big solid piece of chipboard, really, because it just makes it so much sturdier, stronger. Here's the other side piece. And we'll go ahead and put some glue right on the box for this one as well. Sometimes you can kind of spread it with your paper a little before you glue it down. Try not to make too big of a mess. Make sure it doesn't slide out of place like I just had it do. Okay, I'm going to flip that over, put some pressure in those three sections. Going to use a glue pen that I have handy here to just put some pressure on those. And there's what it looks like so far. Looking amazing. So let's go ahead and take our covering panel and put it on this side here. You could use tape runner, but I find that tape runner does dissolve over time, so I don't like it. But wait, before we do that one, let's put our bottom on. You wouldn't have to cover the bottom. Nobody's really going to see it, but I don't think it hurts to add extra reinforcement. So if you so desire, go ahead and add a bottom on here. I'm also noticing this side's glued down nicely, but this one has a little bit of space. Maybe our glue hasn't dried, or maybe it dried without enough pressure. So I'm going to tuck a little in there. There's our bottom. That bottom is nice and sturdy. I love that. If you need to take some time to just hold things in place, let them dry, now is a good time to do that. You could even use your glue bottle to put some pressure down there. If you need to get down in there, you can do that. Okay. Everything be nice and glue, nice and flat the way we want it to. Just make sure you don't use too much glue. Sometimes that causes problems with warping. Okay, these three sections are going to be our covering panels for this area. I'm using double-sided paper, so it's kind of fun. You could make all three of those sections match if you wanted. You could mix it up with different patterns. whatever you want. And these little drawers are perfect for holding things like stamps, tags, paper clips, washi tape, anything you would want to embellish or decorate your cute birthday cards with. I'm just going to put some adhesive on the back of these. Go ahead and put them in place. I think I'm going to do this side because it seems like the green's just a little out of place all by itself, unless we add some other more solid type colors. The prints I'm using on these little drawers is actually from a 6x6 paper pad, so they're a little bit smaller design, which I really like. I also have a piece to cover this section with, so let's go ahead. And you could do, actually I kind of like it with the stripes. Let's do the stripe on that one. Just something a little different. Okay, so we have all those covering panels on and our project's looking adorable. Let's go to each side and add those covering panels. This was a cut apart sheet. That'd actually be kind of cute on there, but I think I'll stick with the confetti pattern. Oops, I probably should have just put this right on the box. It would be easier to do than a floating piece of paper in my hand. That's okay. So again, 1/8 of an inch, so just try and center that as you lay it down. There we go. Oops, and it slid. Good thing it's forgiving for a second there. We'll flip it over so it can have some pressure on the table and do the opposite side. Look how cute the unicorn and the cake and cupcake. I hate covering up cute pattern paper, but sometimes you have to. It's looking so good, and every layer we add to this is just adding more strength to the whole project, which I love. Just going to give that other side a second to dry. While that's drying, I guess I can go ahead and put some adhesive on this. It would be very cute to do the polka dot side, but I cut it the other way, so we're going to have to do the banner side, which is darling too. So just make sure when you're cutting your pattern paper that you orient those things in the correct way so you get the pattern you want. The side panels don't matter so much, and the center front panel and the drawers don't. But this back panel does matter because you have to have the cutout in the correct position. I feel like this corner's a little thick, so I'm just going to rub that right down the middle. Make sure I got enough on the corner, but then get rid of the excess so it doesn't gush out the sides. So cute. I'm going to flip that over and give it some pressure. Okay, we basically have our whole box put together at this point. I'm actually going to use the table and put some pressure on that side. I can even get my hand right in that pencil section and put pressure on that area too. Okay, so we've got the covering panels put on and we're ready to make our lid. So let's get the lid piece really quick. I'm going to set this off to the side to dry for a few minutes. And we'll go ahead and put our lid together. I gave you some cute balloons you can decorate the lid with, but the lid is just, I actually already glued it together, but it was just a flat piece with 4 glue tabs. So you just fold the sides up and the 4 glue tabs in and glue them here and here and here and here. And that forms your lid. I'm going to double check the size on this lid really quick. And I might make it just a tiny bit bigger in the file before I save it out for the final file, because we have so many layers on it that it fits, but it's a little snug. So I might make it 1 millimeter or 2, just a little bit bigger. But that's how you can close up the whole project. Isn't that awesome? So actually, I'm just going to leave it on the box because I think it'll be easier to glue these covering panels on. And if you would like to, you could glue those covering panels on before you even fold up the lid. I just wanted it to dry really well. Again, you could play with different pattern papers. I like this plaid. I think it's really cute. So I'm going to use that, but you could do lots of fun combinations. Decorate your box the way you want it. I'm really excited to have this box. I think it'll be a lot of fun to use. I think it'll help me get a little more organized with birthday card giving. Make sure you have about 1/8 of an inch all the way around. And go ahead and glue that down. I'm going to flip it over, give it a little pressure. Let it dry really well. And then actually, while that's drying, I am going to put some adhesive on these side pieces and get them ready to put on. Okay, here's one of our side pieces. You can really see how this fun project is coming together as we start adding cute paper to it. The pattern paper really makes the project. The plain craft box was not nearly as exciting, was it? Okay. Using the table to apply pressure or to let it dry really does help a lot. And then we're just going to continue the next 2 sides, putting on those 2 pattern papers, panels. Let's see if I can add the glue to both of them really quick. Okay, we'll take this one and flip it over. And flip that over, and we'll add this one. It looks like this needs just a tiny bit more glue along that edge, but I will just go ahead and leave that for now. Okay, at this point we have our beautiful birthday box with a lid and all of our covering panels on. It is really a beautiful project at this point. So let's go ahead and take our balloons. You can decorate with these if you want to, or you don't have to. I think they're darling. I'm probably going to use some pop dots and add those to the top of my box. But at this point, I'm going to go ahead and move on. You can glue those on, you could pop dot those on, do whatever you want with those to embellish. But I just wanted to show you the cards that I'm including in the file or in the project for you. These are some darling 5x7 cards for birthday that are super simple to put together, and they fit beautifully down in one section of this box. Isn't that awesome? And then what I love to do is go to Hobby Lobby and just buy a variety of colors of 5x7 envelopes and just put those right in there too. I think it's so much easier and efficient than trying to cut all of my envelopes. And I've always got a perfect envelope to go right along with my cards. I can just pull them out, put them together, and be ready to send it off. So we need to do the very last component of the project, which is our birthday planner. This is our birthday planner right here. I've cut out all the pieces, and when we're done, it's going to go down in that section right there with a perfect fit. And I'm using coordinating paper from my Birthday Girl collection that I designed for Echo Park. I'm going to go ahead and set all of our box pieces off to the side while we work on our planner. So for the planner, we have our cover, and I have included print and cut pieces for all of the months, January through December. And we've got large numbers. You can list your birthdays that you want to remember under those dates. If you needed a second page for any of the holiday or the months, you could certainly do that. I may even just include a blank page so that you'll have that in case you want to handwrite the month and space out the numbers differently or something, and you could configure your own. But this is the way I've put it together. I know I don't typically have too many birthdays on the same day, but I know some people might. So I will go ahead and add that to the file too. The other thing I put in the file is a pocket page. This pocket page is perfect for holding money. So if you like to give money for your birthdays or put them in birthday cards, you could just slide several bills into that section and have them ready to go right inside of your birthday box. There's also a back cover that goes on the back of this as well. Okay, so let's get ready to put our book together. You'll notice each page has, it might be kind of hard to see here, but 2 holes, and it's got a cutout here and here. So I've done that so that it'll be easy to bind these pages. Before we put it together, let's go ahead and close up our pocket page here. It will hold some money in that pocket page perfectly. Go ahead and put some adhesive on those 2 sides and close that up. And that's what the pocket page looks like. It makes just a perfect little pocket. So we'll just stack these up. I'm putting the pocket page last. In fact, it could be your back cover if you wanted to, but I went ahead and cut the back cover as well. You'll notice there's a score line on each of these. You'll probably want to do a little bending back and forth a little bit just to get those pages where they will turn and you can open it up to a certain month and see things. I've already bent all those others on the score line, so it's a little bit pliable. So now we just are going to get creative with using our string and binding this. So I'm just going to cut off, I don't know, a couple yards of string so that I have plenty to work with. Be easier than trying to keep it attached to the roll. I'm going to find the middle of my string. So it's just baker's twine that looks like this. I'm using blue, and I'm just going to take that middle, I'm just going to wrap it around the 2 U-shaped sections here. Stack them all up. Okay, I'm going to take this side and just wrap it a couple times, and the other side and wrap it a couple times. And then I'm going to take it, let's see, are we in the front or the back? I'm going to go to the back side of the book, and I'm going to come up in this section, this dot here, this hole. You can do it however you want. In fact, I'm going to crisscross it before I do that because I don't like how that looks on the back. I'm going to crisscross this section, and then I'm going to take it through the holes. You can do this however you want, whatever works for you. I just wanted it to be kind of cute with a little baker's twine edge, and then tie it on the front. Yeah. Use my scissors to help me push that through. Just doesn't want to be cooperative. There we go. Oops. Okay, let me just show you how that looks on the back now. I just wrapped it, and then I crisscrossed it. I'm just going to center the crisscross. I just like how it looks where it pulls against each other at the crisscross there. And then you can tie that. You could feed it back to the back side of the book if you wanted to not have the bow show or whatever, but I'm just going to take it at this point and tie it a bow. And I'm going to put a double knot in that because I don't really want it to come loose. Get your bow about as big as you want. Crisscross those again and knot it. And at this point you can just cut off the excess. And that is our darling little planner, birthday planner. So just make sure you stack those up in the right order. That would be terrible to get them out of order and then realize it later and have to rebind it. So there you go. So let's go back to our box. Our cute balloons on the lid. And our planner is going to go down there. And I'm actually going to use the little section that brings the pins up because I don't want to have to reach my hand way down there to get a pin. So I'm going to set that on there. Go ahead and slide it in. Whoops, my pin lid just came off. Push that down to the bottom. And then there you go. Perfect. So I hope you enjoy making this awesome project, you guys. I'm so excited about it. These are plenty big to fit stamps in, washi tape, paper clips if you want to paper clip money into a card, washi tape for taping money, or you could even put address labels or even gift tags. I have tons of gift tag patterns. In fact, I'd probably throw a couple into the file just for a bonus so they'll fit in the box for you. You'll have gift tags so you could attach that to a present and then you'll have a card. You could also store baker's twine right in this section if you only need one pin or something. Where did that baker's twine go? You could set baker's twine down in there, and that would be cute for putting on a package or attaching a tag to something as well. So it's totally up to you. I hope you guys love this project as much as I loved making it and sharing it with you. Please leave me any feedback or questions you have here on this YouTube video, and I would love to hear from you. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you in another video when we do another project. Have a great day. Bye-bye. I had so much fun putting together this cute birthday organizer with you guys and for you guys. I hope you enjoy making yours. Please send me pictures at info@loriwhitlock.com or share them on our Facebook page. We would love to see how yours turns out. I think with a variety of different papers and different embellishments, you could make your birthday organizer quite unique and different. And I would love to see how yours turns out. I love that there's 3 sections to keep you organized. I think these simple cards that are included with the project files are super fun, super simple, very easy to make several of them and have them ready to go. I love that there's a place to store envelopes so that they're just ready to go. And the highlight of the project for me is truly this fun planner. I love that I can store some money in here and have it ready to send out in a birthday card. The little drawers are simply fantastic, a way to store extra little pieces, doodads, stamps, and tags ready to go celebrate and send off cards and packages to all of our loved ones. Hope you guys enjoyed making this just as much as I did, and please don't hesitate to ask questions here on the comments of the YouTube channel. Please also like and subscribe our YouTube channel so we can continue providing you with awesome tutorials. And I hope I'll see you all in another video soon. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.